unbelievable. A result that pre-match you thought was unlikely to happen. At half-time you thought could not happen, and yet it has happened. The Delhi Capitals, against significant odds, against 9 places in the points table, have upset the Gujarat Titans in their home den while asking them to chase, something that Hardik Pandya's side has made a reputation of being so good at. It left the Gujarat Titans captain questioned, puzzled, unbeaten, but defeated at the end of the night. And it gives the Capitals 2 precious points to still breathe life and keeps hope alive in their IPL 2023 campaign. A fabulous final over by all the experience of 100 tests and more of Ishant Sharma. And we look back at how he got the better of Rahul Tewatia, who was about to do a Tewatia and give the Titans these points. A game that'll have plenty of questions, I'm sure, is 130 now, isn't defended successfully after what we had 125 yesterday that a chasing team couldn't chase. So we asked the questions of the surface and of the chase of Shaun, Tait and Dasgupta on Visit Saudi presents ESPNcricinfo T20 Timeout. You two did say Delhi Capitals might do this, or Tom Moody's prediction has fallen right. It wasn't in the fashion that we thought. We
certainly
thought
wasn't.
They are a batting heavy side, and we thought they could outbat the Titans. They have just defended 130. Let's start with the Ishant Sharma over. How good was that?
Oh, that was brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, under pressure, 2 quality players, including Rahul Tewatia, who's hit 3 sixes in the previous over. That was absolutely brilliant, and I'm actually very happy for Ishant Sharma as well, coming back. And it's been a season for comebacks, isn't it? I mean, everyone for that matter. Mohit Sharma, Ishant Sharma, Amit Mishra, I mean,
Piyush Chawla.
It's been an amazing tournament from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we have to talk about the last 2 overs where the momentum swung so rapidly, and a 21 run over in the 19th by Nortje. And you thought Warner's got that right. He's gone for his gun bowler to bowl the penultimate to try and give Ishant as many. It left Ishant with just 12. Now, if you have to break down those 2 overs, Teddy, what has Nortje missed out on, and how does Ishant Sharma then approach that last over? It could have been so different had he had, say, 18, 19, 20 to defend. But just break down those 2 overs from the fast bowlers.
I mean, Nortje bowled some good deliveries. He does hit a good Yorker as well. And I don't think there's not too many guys hitting those other deliveries for 6. Tawati's in that zone at the moment, but they weren't great deliveries. To be fair, they were hittable. So he just missed. That's it. I think Ishant Sharma didn't, and normally praising fast bowlers for hitting their Yorkers, but I felt like that the change with Sharma was the unpredictability of going that hard length for that wicket. That was a great delivery. We all thought he was going to go Yorker again. Yeah. The batsman thought he was going to go Yorker again, and he went into the wicket and got the wicket. So. Yeah. That was experienced bowling, I suppose. And you mentioned that there's talk of him. He's been bowling pretty well at the moment with Delhi in the nets and all this stuff. So good on him. Yeah.
Yeah. So that change up, because I think Nortje is still stuck to a plan. He changed the field and wanted to invite Tewatia to go offside, but Tewatia has managed to walk across, make it a full toss, and you think, oh, what's Nortje bowling? But that ball from Ishant to Tewatia, that's effectively a game changer. Otherwise, you sense Tewatia is hitting a couple of boundaries, getting them over. So that is just purely experience and outsmarting the batter who.
I don't think he changed his field, did he? I don't think he changed his field from what I.
Yeah, for Ishant, no. For Nortje, it changed, but Ishant stuck to the same.
I like that. I'm a big fan of that, of sticking to a similar field. You might make a change here and there. Sticking to a field and having 2 or 3 deliveries you can possibly bowl. Yes, the Yorker's great. Maybe you take the pace off, but just to go the hard length, when that's the delivery, I think he was not expecting at all.
Yeah. Not to mention the wide Yorker just
was a great
in
delivery
between,
as well. So you got
which Nortje missed. Yeah, it's that margin, and you sense this is again Tewatia. We have to speak highly of him.
Oh yeah,
because he's clearly predicting what a bowler is going to do, even if that bowler is of Anrik Nortje's abilities.
And also execute. One thing is to actually try and read, which you can more often than not, looking at the field and what the bowler might do. You have all these data analysts who will feed you with information, what a bowler does generally under pressure or in the death overs. But to execute those 6s, that were unbelievable. As a bowler, you know he's going to go onside. You know that's where he wants to hit. But even then, after all that, I mean, just to kind of execute those and pull them off, absolutely brilliant from Rahul Tewatia.
You talk about comebacks, and it's amazing what Ishant Sharma has done. But this is not what Ishant Sharma's strength in T20 has ever been, to close out a 20th over. What's changed here? Because even Rahane is suddenly doing things he's not been known for in T20 cricket. Ishant Sharma's done it arguably for a tougher team.
Absolutely. Okay, so Ishant Sharma, let's go back to 2017. He wasn't picked in the IPL. I think he realized, then he moved to focused on red ball cricket. And then you look at his test record post 2017. It's been brilliant. Now again that he's not playing test match cricket and he's got an opportunity, I think he's focused on just bowling with the red ball, focusing on what are the areas he need to improve, like the Yorker, like the slower and stuff like that. Even the knuckleball, that was a phenomenal ball. I honestly, I can't remember the last time I saw him bowl a knuckleball. Right, so that knuckleball there to get rid of Vijay Shankar was brilliant. The wide Yorker, the hard length is more of his length, that's his natural length. And it was so smart because also the fact that he gets a little bit extra bounce, and that was on a red surface where you do get a little bit of help. Yeah. You bend your back, you will get that extra bounce and all that. That was so good from Ishant. I think the fact that he knows that he might not end up playing red ball cricket anymore, so that's what he's thinking about, I guess. Red ball cricket, maybe another couple of years of IPL and stuff, and just focus on white ball cricket.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks. Ishant Sharma seems to have got his Yorker spot on. He's got a knuckleball in, so it can come even at this late stage of his career.
You know, also you see, you know, Rahane in the same with his batting is the fact that you're a big name Indian cricketer, and you've got maybe another 3 years to make a handsome living as well, a retirement fund in the IPL. And you know, you might not play a heap of test cricket for India going forward because you're older and your body's not going to go through that. But like you said, make a couple of changes like Rahane has done with his strike rate, his batting, and you can fetch another 3 years in the IPL and have a really good career. So,
one thing you say is financial sort of, you know, that this is it. But I'd love to talk about Indian cricketers at this stage as the cricketers who think about their legacy. And Ishant Sharma, what will he be remembered for? A great test bowler, had a second coming off it. Ajinkya Rahane, what will be remembered? A good test batter, didn't quite cut it in white ball cricket. And suddenly you are presented with a small lease of life in a 10-team IPL with the impact sub. All of it comes together to give you a chance to play some games.
And also the fact that as a player, you also want to challenge yourself. You know, you'll be remembered, like you said, your legacy would be test match cricket. I mean, for Ishant would be 100 test matches. Same with Ajinkya Rahane, test match cricket. But then you like, you know what, let me just focus on white ball. You know you're not going to play as much red ball as you would want to. But then why not give it a try? And then let's see. So you kind of you have a lot more freedom in the way you prepare yourself and how you see yourself. You're not thinking about too many things. You've got very limited things to focus on, and you can do a really good job. And look at Ishant, look at all these guys. I mean, the names that we've taken so far.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done. You can't be happy enough for an Ishant Sharma who's done a difficult role and managed to keep Delhi alive. But the questions will be asked of the Titans. Why was this chase in any event so far ahead from them? 130 on paper, and it took a special cameo from Tewatia to actually get them close. Otherwise, they could have easily lost this game by more. Was this a hard surface suddenly? Was this a difficult surface to bat on?
I don't think it was difficult surface. Not a 130. Maybe 160 would have been difficult, I'd say, but not 130. Somewhere, obviously, losing those initial wickets, and then suddenly that partnership, even though it was required at that point in time, but someone like Abhinav Manohar striking at 80, less than run a ball. I think that partnership, even though it was required, maybe they could have got another 8-10 runs in that partnership, in that span, and it would have been maybe a different game then.
100%.
You know, I think that partnership, they were a little overcautious.
I'll come to that partnership, but they were 20 odd for 3, or 32 for 4 when Miller fell. So when they were 26 for 3, you almost saw, or you can almost predict why Hardik Pandya has batted the way he's batted. He's trying to take the game deep, minimize risk. But let's go to why they were 26 for 3. Now, what happened for Shami in the first innings? Clearly, something was happening for Ishant and Nokia in the second.
There was enough there. There was enough. It was. We spoke about. Shami said, you know, it wasn't a wicket that provided heaps, but enough. So I think it was one of those. Can you get through those first few overs unscathed? And they didn't. Also, Ishant bowled a great slow ball. That knuckle ball as well. So it was. You know, there was a bit of a mixed bag. The spin got one. Miller wasn't. It wasn't a great shot from Miller. It was bad timing, that shot. He would know that. So
To be fair though, that with Khalil's return and a maiden over to start with, a wicket maiden to start with, you sense suddenly that there is a lot of teeth in this bowling. Khalil, Ishant, if he's bowling like this, Nortje, Kuldeep and Akshar in great form.
So there's never a doubt with quality in that team.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at even the batting quality, there's a lot of quality there. It's just that they haven't got it together as yet. Even today, I mean, it's the bowlers that bailed them out. They were definitely 20 runs short without a shadow of doubt. Yeah. So they haven't really got things together. I mean, there is no doubt looking at that squad, looking at that. I think it'll be the same for everyone. I mean, everyone's going to say the same thing. They have quality there. So it's just that getting it together.
Okay, Hardik Pandya's innings. Now let's go to that partnership too. Now, touch the point that clearly he saw what's happening around him and he's batting 3 now in what's a rejigged approach to the season. No Sai Sudarshan and Hardik bats a position higher, everyone sort of bats a position higher. But do you sense he could not shift gears today?
I wouldn't really say I'd go more with Abhinav Manor. I think it was kind of lack of experience. But Hardik, you know what Hardik was planning to do. He wanted to bat deep.
He had to be there at the end.
Yeah, he had to be there till the end. So that's fine. That innings is fine. I'm not talking about Hardik's innings. But maybe there was a little bit of lack of experience on Abhinav Manor where he was like, okay, I will get that boundary. Because players like that, you're always looking for that 1-6, 1-4. And suddenly that 80 strike rate becomes 100. You know, and that boundary never came for Abhinav Manor. And so I guess I'll put it down to lack of experience there with Abhinav.
I mean, yes, Tait.
No, Hardik, of the good balls that were bowled in those last few overs, Hardik actually got those.
Yeah.
When he was on strike, they nailed it when he was on strike. So it just worked out that way as well. Otherwise, his plan's obviously to do what Swati was doing.
Exactly so.
Yeah, all right. So you're not finding much fault in a 59 or 53 because I can imagine, and I know if you saw KL Rahul at this innings, 59-53, you'd be thinking, oh, what's he doing? You know, he should have finished the game off sooner. But this is different. You're
3 or 4 for not many. They were 3 or 4 for not many. So that's why you sit there and go, okay, someone had to be there near the end.
Yeah.
He had to take it deeper.
True, and also you got to give credit to the bowlers, all of them.
Yeah,
all the decent
well.
bowlers, they bowled really well. I mean, it'll be very, very unfair to criticize the batting unit because I think the bowling was absolutely top-notch.
So was there something in there for Kuldeep as well? Because he's gone for 15.
Yeah.
They couldn't even work him for 4 and over, forget 6 and over.
Just stopping a bit as well.
It was, and that's where when I say Abhinav Manor, see the thing is it can be a little confusing because his role is different, right? He's in that team for a different role to hit 4s and 6s. Power hitter. Yeah. And suddenly you come in where 4 down for nothing and you have to play a different kind of a role. So it's easier for us to say, oh, he should have got 20 odd runs, 10 more odd runs. But you can understand, you know, it was a difficult situation. That's not basically his ideal role or space. But yeah.
If it did slow down and there was still something for the new ball, do we now almost have to go back to the decision to bat, which we were criticizing at half-time and saying if it was doing so much, they should have clearly bowled first and, you know, used conditions. Now does it seem like a well-thought plan or have they got a bit out of jail today?
I think they've got out of jail.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a masterstroke this way.
I just think you lose those quick wickets at the top, and both teams did, but I think they've got out of jail.
Yeah. Is that feeling for you too?
Absolutely. Listen, it's been a great game for the bowlers. I think bowlers from both sides, they were very, very good right through the game.
Did you ever feel at any point in that chase that Gujarat felt like, yeah, we'll get this? There was almost a complacency. That it's Delhi, the 10th, you know, the Bulls team that we'll figure a way in the end, we'll smack a couple of sixes and we'll get the job done. Was there ever that, do you ever get that impression in the chase?
It's possible. I mean, I think they lost wickets too quickly at the top probably to maybe have those thoughts throughout the innings, but there's no doubt they went out there, I mean, thinking, we can take these runs. But then again, there's always, from the bowling side, from Delhi's point of view, there would have been that comment, as you know, in cricket, this is a tricky chase, so don't give up. You know, if we keep going, this is going to be a tricky chase, and there's no doubt Warner was saying that. There's no doubt.
And for DC, I mean, the best thing that happened was they kept getting wickets every 2-3 overs, so they were always in the game. You know, so there was, even though that partnership, it was kind of on the slower side. That I mean, at least if you're not taking wickets, you know the asking rate's going higher, and you don't have enough batters to come in on that. I think that was really, really good bowling, though.
If I am to consider that impression at the top, I think the only wicket that fell to what didn't look like any sort of, you know, really good ball or challenging surface was that of Shubman. And early on, do you think somebody like Shubman Gill, with the form he's coming into this tournament with how important it is, this is the kind of game where you want Shubman to be getting a nonchalant 55 not out, and making sure this doesn't happen. Is it fair to expect that from him? This is again a player who is now being used as an impact sub, not fielding, and being asked to just bat.
You would. I mean, obviously, his quality and his form and everything put together, you would expect that from him. He's the leading batter as well.
Yeah.
But he's got out quite a few times in that position before, playing that shot.
Yeah.
Because he's so good square off the wicket. If you see, he doesn't have a big stride forward. And we're talking about Andrik Nokia, who can hurry you, right, with that pace of his. So again, if you look at that replay again, his foot didn't move at all. So it was all hands, so hands extending. And obviously when your hands extend, chances are you're going to slice it. And exactly that's what happened. And like I said, it's happened before as well. So a lot of teams now have at least 3 fielders in that area. Normal point, a backward and in front.
Australia had that too. It happened in the ODI series too of Stark. So
it's a thing, but he's he gets away with it at times. He's such a good player as well. But his reaction was the same. Again, it was like, you know, that I cannot believe I've just hit a half volley there again. So that's something he's going to go and have a look at, I suppose.
All right, quite the result. It keeps the points table interesting for a number of reasons. If you're in the top half, you're thinking, oh, the Titans could go to 9 games and 14 points, which almost will secure them in the long run. You think a top 2 spot. If they just manage to win a couple more, they should be safe there. Now, all of a sudden, it's just a matter of one result, going Rajasthan's way, Lucknow's way, Chennai's way, even RCB's way, and they've caught up. And a lot of these teams play each other, remember. So Gujarat don't have an easy run in. They still have to play Lucknow, Rajasthan, and RCB in their last 5. On the other hand, the Delhi Capitals.
Might make the finals, Delhi.
They made it. Yeah. Well, that could be a chat, because if Mumbai Indians at 8 points harbour hopes, and I'm sure Punjab at 10, it couldn't.
But having said that, this is a huge victory for some Delhi Capitals. Talking about not getting it together, I think a victory like this could actually galvanize and get the whole team together and going in one direction. So from that perspective, I think it's a huge win for them.
Yeah, it is a massive win. If I have to ask you to pick a player of the match, do we go back to Aman Khan for getting something to even give them 130, or do you sense no, this game was won by Ishant Sharma in the last over, so we have to.
It's got to be Shaun, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Ishant, yes, but you got to. I mean, even
the innings
Aman,
keeps you there, doesn't it?
They were what, 28 for 5?
Yeah, 23 for 5.
23 for 5 when Aman came in. And what a time to get your first T20 50, by the way. Not IPL, but T20 50.
Yeah.
I got to get some credit to Aman, man.
Absolutely,
I mean, the way he batted, the maturity from a young guy who's actually known for big hitting, not for an innings like that. So you've got, I mean, I'm sure he's got to be one of the top contenders for player of the match.
Intriguing to watch for the rest of the tournament if he's...
Yeah, true.
For him,
yeah. So if you're going Aman, are you going Ishant?
Bowler.
I think even though Aman Khan got them to 130, they still should have.
I know it won't happen because my predictions have been just
no, but this is just wanting to know your insight. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm not sure to predict a man of the match. What a dull thing, what a dull question that would be.
No, I'm going to go the bowler, Shaun.
Ishant, yeah. Well, it's been a wonderful game. It wasn't supposed to be one, but it turned out to be one. So I must thank Deep Dasgupta and Shaun Tait. I need to get out of the studio without bumping into Tom Moody, who I was sort of going, oh,
he's messaged you already.
Yeah, great prediction. Yeah, 23 for 5. But it's what you say about the English Premier League, right? Anyone can beat anyone, home or away on their day. It makes it the greatest league in the world.
Obviously, Chelsea's going to beat Arsenal tonight.
Go home, Deep Dasgupta. Yeah, go home. Yeah. Go home. Just go away. All right, Teddy, thank you very much. It is a fascinating story. It's a good advertisement for the league that 10th place beats top of the table at Gujarat too, where the Titans play. So sets up the tournament nicely for the rest of the week. Keeps Lucknow interested, Chennai interested. They play tomorrow afternoon. Also keeps Punjab and Mumbai on their toes. They play tomorrow evening. So it's a big double header Wednesday. Make sure you remember that it is 2 games on Wednesday tomorrow. It's the last weekday doubleheader of this year's IPL. Look forward to your company then on Visit Saudi presents ESPNcricinfo T20 Time. These boys will be back. So will Deep, in spite of his awful final words on this show. Yeah, but I hope I'll have the pleasure of telling you the score tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's going to be Chelsea anyways.
Have you watched Chelsea? They're literally like, okay, never mind. That's for another show.
Let's talk about it after.
Yes, we'll see you for Visit Saudi presents ESPNcricinfo T20 Time out then, and check out the mobile app. You want to keep looking at that points table. Just look at the remaining fixtures too. We've also got a great service on that points table that tells you the next games coming up. This is really the business end of the IPL. Great game. Well done to Ishant Sharma. That's a wrap from us tonight. Good night.